If you're unfamiliar with the series, The King of Fighters is a fighting game that brings together various classic SNK characters into a tournament bearing the game's name. Mai Shiranui, despite appearing in the very first KOF, was actually created for Fatal Fury 2 in 1992. In fact, numerous fighters came from Fatal Fury 1 and 2, along with other older SNK titles. While Fatal Fury 2 was being developed, most fighters were nearly finished, but Mai Shiranui wasn't even considered for the game. She didn't exist anywhere, not even on paper. In her place, SNK planned to include a male fighter, likely a ninja from that same Shiranui clan. However, the developers realized something critical. Their game had 0 female fighters, while their competitor at the time, Street Fighter II, had Chun-Li showcasing her full potential. So what was supposed to be a generic ninja fighter ended up becoming one of the series' most celebrated characters, the first female fighter who would eventually join the King of Fighters. By the way, the images you're seeing on screen are the original concept art for the character who was supposed to be that male ninja, who became Mai. In an interview with the King of Fighters 94 developers, it was revealed that someone there, Mai's level designer, asked if they could add some animation to her static image, giving movement to the character's sprite. The result was the most famous attributes in all of gaming. This animation they created was almost like hypnosis for potential players in 1994. It turned out so well that it appeared many times in future games and was even censored in some countries. SNK really pushed the fighter's beauty in every aspect, and because of this, she gained far more attention than the actual protagonists and even famous bosses like Rugal, for example. Mai captured the hearts and minds of many young players in the 90s. Well, just by looking at this fighter's clothing, you can tell Chang was imprisoned for some reason and managed to escape from jail, since even away from the bars, he's still wearing that characteristic outfit. According to the game's own story, he was a feared and quite dangerous criminal in Korea, the country where he was born. I couldn't find exactly what he did to end up there. I just know that while imprisoned, Chang and his cellmate Choi always planned ways to escape from prison, but their plans were frustrated and the two returned to incarceration. And due to his extreme brute strength, Chang was considered a violent criminal, and keeping him in prison was very difficult, at least for regular police officers, right? So the fighter Kim, also a King of Fighters fighter, had an idea that would forever change Chang's life and the Korean team of the King of Fighters, and that's the next part. During security footage of one of Chang's escape attempts, the fighter Kim noticed how strong the big guy was and that he had great potential to be a fighter in the King of Fighters tournament. At that point, Kim basically forced Chang to submit to a rehabilitation project, where Chang would use his brute strength for good. It was either that or go back to jail, right? So Chang joined the Korean team and started fighting alongside Kim. Kim's intention was to keep him nearby so that Chang would maintain his rehabilitation. The funny thing is that even outside prison, Chang still wears those clothes from his jail days and an iron ball, which, by the way, he uses as a weapon during the tournament. Go figure why he didn't want to change clothes. But one thing's certain, if he doesn't rehabilitate now, at least he'll be able to use his brute strength against the villains of the King of Fighters tournament. Chang's super special move, or Wild Ball, was originally designed as a test movement. They didn't intend to put it in the game, but it got such a good response that it was added to the game without changes. It was perfect right from the start. Before that, the developer's intention was for him not to use any weapons during fights. An interesting fact is that in real life, at least a few centuries ago, this iron ball was indeed used on the most problematic prisoners. This happened in various prisons around the world. And given the size of prisoner Chang, it has to be a giant iron ball, right? Good thing one of this fighter's abilities is superhuman strength. Otherwise, he'd never be able to carry an object with that weight.
And those are some interesting facts about King of Fighters. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and like the video to help me out. Thanks for watching.